Okay. So my name is Devonté Dawson. I am a 17-year-old African American male. I reside in the area of Silver Spring. And one thing about me is that I am a survivor of bone cancer for 6 years. The cancer that I had was called osteosarcoma, or in the English version, the version that was I was told was bone cancer. And with the title of it, bone cancer affects my bone, the bone marrow of my body. The bone that was affected was the bone where my knee is. The knee actually had the knee actually had been infected with the particular cancer that I had, infected the mass in the tissue, leading up to the bone being cut out completely. Not only that area, but the entire portion of that area. The entire portion of that area was 20 centimeters long, so that was majority of the entire leg bone that was cut out. And so, I mean, sorry, after it was cut out, I went into surgery to get a replacement, and replacement, in all due honesty, it's not bone. The replacement is metal, and that's the metal I had implanted, which is now a prosthetic leg inside. Um, they told me with the prosthetic leg, the certain things I wouldn't be able to do. So the things I won't be able to do for a while is run, bend my leg 90 degrees, which is a right angle. That's where I'm supposed to be having my knee flexion. But since the bone was taken out, my entire leg has been numb and stiff. How it's placed right now. This is how it's placed right now. It's It's not 90 degrees. I know it's not a good angle, but it's not 90 degrees. It's half. It's 50 degrees of an angle. Sorry, I'm trying to keep it adjusted, but okay. But it's 50 degree of an angle. I actually have been in remission for 6 years. So I got cancer in 2012 in December, and was cancer free in September of 2013. The cancer that I had is a part of childhood cancer. Actually, it's one of the forms of childhood cancer that's found in children under the age of 13 to 17, I believe. And it can happen anywhere within your body. So my particular cancer, osteosarcoma, or bone cancer, it went up to my knee. And when I went to the doctors, they told me that they caught it there. If it kept going up and higher within my body, my heart or my head would have been affected, and I would have had brain cancer or kidney cancer. The treatment that I got radiation. I got radiation, which is X-rays, CAT scans, MRIs before the surgeries. And the reason why I say before the surgeries was because metal in an MRI machine does not work. It's going to fracture the metal inside and shatter it. That's what I was told. So I can't do an MRI now, but I can do a CAT scan and an X-ray on a regular basis. But I got chemotherapy. I lost my hair as a result of chemotherapy, and during that time I was just going through puberty, and my hair went from full to thin to full to thin and back and forth, to a point that it stopped. And after radiation and the chemotherapy was done, the treatments were over, my hair started flowing back, and which is why I'm so good looking, handsome now. What? What? It has to be funny in some sense. It can't just be all serious. But back to the topic. it's unknown how I got cancer. Like, I just finished playing football. I just got into a new school and everything was fine, and this happened. I don't know how it runs in my family because I asked plenty times. It doesn't run in my family, so that's always will be a mystery. But I've been 6 years strong, remaining stronger, and I am grateful. I'm grateful that I. It's funny to say that I got cancer. I mean that I had cancer, and it's grateful that I survived it. And the reason why I say that is because many people don't understand that if once you get sick, your eyes open up after the fact or during the fact, because you understand what life is all about. And ever since that, I'm a walking testimony talking about that, because not many kids my age during that time at the age of 12 had the mentality of I'm going to feel better, I'm going to be okay. They're all depressed and sad, don't want to eat and everything. So I feel like that's the thing that pushed me to continue fighting, even though it was long nights alone in a hospital bed, times that I had to be stuck with needles, times I had to be stuck at late night at 12 a.m. to be stuck with IV fluid to continue to diminish the cancer cells from returning. Extensive physical therapy was a result. Was a result of after the treatment. So physical therapy for my knee to get my knee flexion to be at 90 degrees, and currently it's at 60, 70 degrees. So it's getting up there, but it's not as fast as I wished it was. There were some effects about the situation that could have affected my entire treatment. So during the times that I got cancer and I was getting the therapy, certain things in the outside world would damage the progress that I would have made. So the progress that would have been damaged would have been the progress of the cancer being depleted. Mind you, my hair, now, yes, I had a haircut, yes, but my hair was gone and my head was exposed. During the times of going outside and anything, I would not have my head exposed, because if I had my head exposed and the sun UVA man, what's it called? Ultraviolet rays, that's what they're called? Ultraviolet? Yeah. So the ultraviolet rays from the sun would have damaged my already cured cells, and it would have been another cancer on top of the cancer I'm trying to get rid of. I had to wear a mask. Most of the time. If I was going outside, if I was just in a car, and even times if I was just home, I had to wear a mask. During those times after and before cancer, I had to use a ton of medical equipment. So I had to use, of course, a wheelchair, a cane, and crutches, but certain things that you see if you see elderly people, walking with crutches, you see them walking with a cane, and you see them walking with a walker. I had to use a walker before and I believe after cancer, because they wanted me not to walk on that leg as much. Yet I still didn't listen. I was a disobedient boy, obviously, but that was the tools I had to use. I had to use crutches, I had to use a wheelchair, I had to use a walker, and I have canes. Mind you, I don't have one, I have a good 3 set of canes. I still have them now. They're adjustable and everything, but I still have them now. Fascinating story about my cancer after having cancer story. The metal implanted in my leg, the metal actually bends and it's on its own. So when I'm asleep, and I know it's kind of hard to explain it, but when I'm asleep, they told me that my knee would, if I put my knee in a certain position, my knee would bend on its own slowly. I wouldn't know it. But it would bend on its own. Um, a few other things is that I don't grow regularly. I grow irregularly. So my legs grow irregularly when it comes to my height. So my left leg does not have my left leg was not affected by any means. So that grows. My right leg, it has been affected. So that leg, because it does not grow at a normal rate like the left one is. Sorry. So I go to the hospital plenty of times. I want to say last year I went to get me an extension, because the funny thing about my metal inside my leg is that there's a gear that turns slowly every few minutes. So in 5 minutes I would have gotten an inch or two, a full inch of height. If it goes for a whole hour, I would have gotten to a good another inch. So, I mean, I don't grow like a normal child would have, but I still grow slowly. um, um, During that time of cancer, I couldn't drink or eat certain things. So when I got treatment and everything and chemo, and I started to eat the regular fast food or like at home foods with certain ingredients, I couldn't eat it, and I would end up throwing up, and that's the result of it. Um, I found this out the hard way. I was allergic to a particular medicine that they were giving me to calm the to degress the cancer. And I got sick, so I couldn't take that at all. Um, yeah, it was like the whole situation of having cancer. It's not like it's an easy subject to talk about. Many people can't talk about this cancer is because it's not really that known. Not many kids go through bone cancer or childhood cancer. The cancer people talk about is leukemia and lymphoma. Pennies for patients. Sorry. And I understand why, because that's one of the leading causes of death for kids. But I honestly feel like if it's going to be cancers talked about all over, I mean, like, bone cancer should be a main portion that they need to talk about as well. Because I feel like personally, I went through that, and the only benefit that came out of that would have been Make-A-Wish. And Make-A-Wish, actually, I'm going to walk around for this. Make-A-Wish is a program that they are an organization, actually, that awards students who have been in the hospital with a life-threatening illness that could kill their life or anything like that. I don't want to use that word, but just for now, I would say that would kill their life. They would actually go on an all-expense-paid trip or any type of adventure they would want to go on, and the organization would pay for it. They would get any tickets and everything like that for the child and for their family and for the guests. When I was when I was 12, I went to Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida. Along with that, I didn't just go to Walt Disney World. I went to Universal Studios, and I also went to SeaWorld. And I also was not staying at a typical hotel or motel. I was staying at a resort dedicated to the parents and families of the children who are going through the experience of a life-threatening illness. And that's where I was staying at for the week of spring break. But the cancer, actually, I feel like cancer really changed me. I'm going to put my phone this way. Oh, wait, it's not right. Okay. I feel like cancer actually changed me in a better way, because I feel like my life, I talk about it a lot, and I talk about my testimony when it comes to cancer, but I feel like cancer is a difficult topic to talk about, but I honestly feel like when it comes to a child going through it, they have to be the bravest of soldiers. And myself, at the age of 11, at the age of 12, correction, at the age of 12, I put on that face like it wasn't bothering me, and it was. I was depressed, sad, I didn't want to go outside, didn't want to go nowhere. I'm still like that now, but I didn't want to do anything, and I was sad about it. But I still continued to push on and do what I had to do to get myself out of the hospital and come back to school and come back to my friends, because that was the one thing that I really missed. I missed being at school. And that was the one thing I told my mom that, and I told her that. So when am I going back to school? And they said I couldn't go back. So I think that was one of the things that I feel like I don't know, that I feel like that was one of the most striking things about it, because it wasn't striking that I had cancer. That wasn't striking to me. But what was striking was that it was just at a time that I was just having a great life. I was a kid. I was just reliving my, like, just having fun. I'm not going to say reliving, but I was just going to have fun. And it got cut short. So I don't want to cry about it, because it's like, it's not something people can actually talk about, but it's like, I don't want to show that side of me crying after and everything, because I don't know, I just feel like it's just not needed for me. My biggest supporters throughout that entire time, the ones who was helping me and everything, was my grandmother and my mother and my brother. And my mother in particular, she helped me. She helped me go through it. And that was one of the things that I really am hopeful for. I'm grateful for. I don't want to cry. I do not want to cry. Because obviously my eyes are, you see a little red, you see a little red. But, that's pretty much it. If you want to know more about the cancer that I had and everything like that, you can ask me questions in class, or if you see me in the hallways, you can ask me questions. Or if you want to know more, you can go to AmericanCancerSociety.com and find out and type up the cancer, which is bone cancer, or osteosarcoma, which is spelled Osteosarcoma. So osteosarcoma. Sorry. And if you want, follow me on IG, CenturySmiles.17, or just typically just type, no, don't type my name, Century Smiles, so CenturySmiles.17. That's all combined. And you'll find my face, obviously. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you.